And hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are at the corner of Bay Street and Queens Quay because we're gonna walk the waterfront. Over here we are right beside the Weston Harbor Castle. Shout out upstate New York Bob and Marie and Brad Palmer, as they typically always stay here. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, all three of them are other YouTubers based around the world. But like I said, today we're going to be walking the waterfront. So we're going to make our way from Bay Street all the way to Bathurst. And we're going to explore the actual water line instead of following Queens Quay. And that means a bit of an extended walk here. So we're starting off at Jack Layton Ferry Terminal. And today is a bit of a cloudy day. But here's some time for the intro. Okay, and now that that's out of the way, let's continue the walk. Starting off, of course, with the giant picnic table. Here's our first glimpse of Lake Ontario, but specifically the harbor. Over there is the Toronto Islands. And over here is the construction for the future electric ferries of Toronto. We have 2 new electric ferries coming in from Romania. For those interested, today is Sunday, April the 19th, 2026. The temperature is about 5 degrees Celsius. And it has not been that sunny so far. It's been mostly all clouds and stuff after yesterday's showers. But I do see some coming out now, so we might be in luck for the video. Over there we have York Quay number 1 buildings, or whatever they like to call them. Those represent the base of York Street. And if you're enjoying the video so far, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. If you are watching this video on a phone, I'd appreciate if you can click that hype button below, right beside the comment section, as it helps the discoverability of this video and the channel. Alright, we're here right by the number 1 York Quay buildings. And welcome to Harbour Square. Well, Humber Square Park. Over here they have this giant concrete sphere where you can go inside and test the echo. It's pretty cool. If you have a chance, check it out. There it is there. Right in front of us are the city cruises. These cruises will take you around the harbor and around the islands, depending on which you choose. And also, depending what time you go, there are dinner cruises available. They provide a fresh new perspective on the Toronto Islands. Now that we're at the base of York Street, you can see in the middle there the towers with the Swiss cheese roofs. Those are called the ice condominiums. Pretty infamous here for having fires erupt, even though they're called ice. Quite ironic, no? Here's that condo I was mentioning. Number 1 York Quay. And right here we have the city's only lakefront beaver tail location. The other one close enough is by the Sky Dome, or the Rogers Center. Speaking of, we need a mandatory CN Tower shot. There's a very small clock tower on this harborfront building. But over here we have a farm boy, which is pretty nice to have a grocery store like that. And this building is the Harborfront Terminal building. That actually has another pretty nice restaurant on the whole other side called Pearl. So Pearl Harborfront Cuisine. And of course, other smaller ones inside. Here's a close-up of these City Cruises boats by Hornblower. This is called the Odyssey Toronto. Pretty nice boat, but just wait until you see Sandy. There's the Northern Spirit 1, and the Spirit 2 is somewhere here. Or in fact, maybe it's out today. Ooh, I don't see sailboat Sandy here. But here is Kajama. This is our local pirate ship here in Toronto. You can indeed board it for some pirate cruises. It is also a party boat on the side. Over here on the right, we got the power plant at Harborfront Center. And right here we have the festival arena, and there is a bunch of food events as well. There goes a Toronto police boat. Coming up, we have a brand new restaurant for Toronto. Well, brand new as of last year summer, so I guess it's been almost a year at this point, but fairly new, called Queen's Harbor. Oh. And it's right beside the Amsterdam Brewery. It is a bit of a upscale restaurant and requires a dress code, but it is quite nice. There it is with the little flower icon on the roof. And right behind that we have the Radisson Blu Hotel, which includes at the base of it a very nice cafe, which I recommend you visit if you're here until 2 p.m. as it closes pretty early. Here's the Harborfront Center. Lots of events go on here in the summer, and pop-ups and such to check out. There's a shawarma truck. All of these taco and churro vans and stuff are kind of permanent installed here, but they're not open for most of the year. Once again, there's the Queens Harbor restaurant. Right behind here, we're gonna see the aquatic-based police station. So this is the Marine Division of the Toronto Police, and they cover the harbor and outer reaches as well as OPP, but OPP have their own boats in a different location. The boat we saw earlier is stationed here. But of course, now that it's out, the garage door is open and we can see inside to a very nice white police boat. Right here we have a giant kayak and canoe rental place where you can take these kayaks out onto the water in the harbor here. But if I would recommend something, I'd rather people go and rent kayaks along the Humber River in Toronto instead of the lake. It is a bit quieter and easier to start out, so especially if you've never done kayaking before. Right up ahead you can see an airport that's called the Billy Bishop City Toronto Airport, or BBCTA. And right there is the Rogers Centre, previously Skydome, home of the Toronto Blue Jays, which are currently away but will be back home on Friday. We are almost to Spadina Avenue. So we don't have that much more to go. But just a quick reminder, if you're still watching, please hit that thumbs up if you haven't yet. It's much appreciated and helps out the channel. And also consider getting a membership. I have 2 tiers available, the supporter and the OG. The price differs, and for gifting memberships, they will always be OG. But the supporter tier still gains access to members only content. And once again, all that revenue helps out keep the channel going. On top of that, there is a super thanks button down in the comments below. So if you'd like to show your support and stand out from the crowd, you can utilize that. Alright, here we are at HTO Park. There's a east and west portion to this, but the east end is massively bigger, so they only named the HTO Park West. And this is just HTO Park. In the summertime, this is a vibrant area with food stalls and events running as well. And if there's nothing running, it's just a nice area to chill by the water with a slight breeze. And maybe you'll catch an airplane taking off. In fact, there's a plane taking off right now. And there it goes. For those who didn't know, Billy Bishop Airport is the home of Porter Airlines, at least here in Toronto. Porter Airlines is a smaller airline who flies more local routes, and so they can take off from Billy Bishop as they operate smaller aircraft and don't need such a big runway. But if you're flying local, there are some Air Canada Express routes that will land at Billy Bishop every now and then. Most notably, very small travel, such as Montreal, Ottawa. Very short commutes like that. All of the other Air Canada flights, and also larger Porter aircraft will land at Toronto Pearson. Toronto Pearson has a 25-minute connection to downtown Toronto by taking the Up Express train, which funnily enough is not actually running today. They're working on track improvements yesterday and today, and in the meanwhile are running a shuttle bus between Pearson Airport and the subway stop at Highway 407. Alright, let's cross over to HTO Park West. But before that, I'll point out the Marine Station for Fire and EMS Services of Toronto. You saw the fireboat earlier.
There's a whole section.
Alright, here's my island princess of Sault Ste. Marie. The Toronto Breeze Yachts. Those windows are a bit reminiscent of vintage Toronto buses, like the TTC ones, the GM New Look style. If we take a look west here, notice Billy Bishop Airport on the left and the Canada Malt & Co. building on the right. That is actually our destination there. So Billy Bishop Terminal sits at the base of Bathurst, and as such it'll be our final point today. So I will stop the video right in front of the terminal. City side, of course. I won't be crossing into the island. There she is. I was wondering where Sandy was. So here's Empress Sandy, my favorite sailboat here. This is a staple of Toronto if you ever visit and you see a giant boat, which is white. That is Empress Sandy. Alright, right over here we have Spadina, or the base of Spadina. So in road terms we have one more giant road to go. As Bathurst is the next big one. This is the Spadina wave deck. No skating or skateboarding or roller skating is not allowed. Highly discouraged, I must say. What a beautiful ship that is. There's a look north along Spadina.
Streaming too.
Not streaming, but recording. Here in between Spadina and Bathurst, we'll have park gems such as the Toronto Music Garden. I think that guy was live streaming, but this is that one rare occasion where I'm actually not. No, we're recording a video. That is quite rare, I must say. Here we have some more info boards about this area, especially before it was developed into what it is. There are some cool looking boats. Of course, here are the wetlands that the boards were mentioning. Still very much present. Did someone say music garden? Here it is. There's a good faraway look at the malting company building. The sun is trying to come out, but it can't. I can feel the rays at times, but it's very quick to disappear. Here's that music garden that I mentioned. Once the trees and everything have more leaves on them, we will come back. But as of right now, nothing much. Oh, except this willow tree here. Incredible how they just keep going. All the boats here in this marina, or almost all of them, are covered in plastic. But they'll be uncovered very, very soon. We're slowly getting to those warmer temperatures and getting ready to prep all the boats for summer. Some boats will be arriving from Italy soon, I'm sure, from their winter stay. Usually here in the summer we'll have some water taxis ready to go and carry people to the yacht club on the Toronto Islands. Which means it would be going to Hanlon's Point. Here's a look on Dan Lackey Way. It is a smaller street and not Bathurst. But Bathurst is right there at the lights. So we're gonna soak in the last of the water here before checking off. The water is very calm today, which is surprising considering it's not too still for the wind. Typically when it's cloudy like this, the water would be a bit rougher. I guess lucky us. Now, of course, before I go towards the airport terminal building and finish the video off, we'll do that mandatory quick glance back at the city, as it is quite a view from here, I promise you guys. There we have the Toronto. See if you can spot your favorite building or any building that you know, and leave a comment below. What was your favorite part of the walk? And which park are you excited to check out once the weather gets nicer? Here we have some absolutely gigantic rock sculptures, but they are not as simple as they look. If you come close, if you come very close and you pay attention, you will see scripting inside to reveal names. But looks like we are here. It looks like we've essentially reached Bathurst. Ooh, there's an interesting feature. It doesn't travel often, but if you don't want to take the tunnel from Toronto side to Island side of the airport, you can take this ferry. One of the shortest ferry rides in the world, if not the shortest, I just don't remember. And you can just abandon your fear of tunnels, even though the tunnel, I can assure you, is big and spacious and does not feel cramped at all. Well, you can still take the outside world, and if you're carrying a car or something similar, then you kind of have no choice but to take the ferry. Here's the terminal building here. Bathurst Quay Common. All right, and here we are. Last fact: if you've just come to downtown Toronto and you're flying out of Billy Bishop, go to Union Station, go to the Fairmont Royal York Hotel, right across it, and catch the complimentary shuttle bus from Union to Billy Bishop. Alright, and that will end the video. So, thank you guys for watching today. I'll catch you on the next one. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe down below, and comment your favorite part of the walk. If you want, also a super chat, super sticker, whatever. Thank you all for watching. Special thank you members. Enjoy the member credits as per usual. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. And you know, ciao for now.